Yeah. Starting
now. 3, 2, 1. Hello, guys, and welcome to the first ever episode talk podcast thing. I don't even know what the fuck it is yet. Welcome anyway to Chief and Leon's wonderful talks. Wonderful talks. So, Chief,
Wacky Adventures.
my wacky adventures. I like that. I haven't done the thumbnail yet, so if that's what the name of the thumbnail is, it's all Chief's idea.
Yeah.
So, Chief, man, thank you for joining me, dude. I really appreciate it. I know there's a few people that absolutely love you out there.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. Thank you for saying yes. Otherwise, it would just be me on my lonesome. So, dude, the reason why we did this is, as like I told you before when we were off air, we're on Twitch. People keep on going on to me, these crazy theories and stuff like that. We keep talking about the most insane crap for like 2 hours. We go so off subject that off subject is now a subject. Like people expect that from us. And there's been loads of people in my Twitch, my YouTube. Chief, you and Chief need to come together to talk about weird and wonderful crap.
Yeah.
So the one things we want to talk about, or what your idea was American. What was it? American Bigfoot, or like weird and like kind of wacky fairy tales. You have Bigfoot. Like, explain Bigfoot to me. I'm English. We don't have Bigfoot over here.
You know, I thought Bigfoot was worldwide. You know, like the Bigfoot Yeti.
So what? The Bigfoot's a Yeti and the Yeti's Bigfoot? Or are they two separate things?
Hey, they're cousins. They're
the
same thing. It's like elves. There's a lot of different types of elves. There's wood elves, but they're all elves. It's all, you know. So that's Bigfoot. So Bigfoot is it's supposed to be like the missing link. I'm not an expert on this subject, I guess, but he's roams the wilderness of America. People are trying to find him. He's gigantic.
People have taken pictures of him, haven't they? Or claims they've taken pictures.
Yeah, there's a video. There's the Patterson-Gimlin footage, which is like super, like the most famous footage. You know, the one it's in California where it's like walking in like the creek bed.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what I really, really find weird is like every time the human race discovers something mythical, and we have to jump to our cameras with all these iPhones and Androids and stuff like that. How is the footage always crap? Why? Why with the one person that these creatures, these fucking unicorns and stuff appear, and it appears to the one guy who's got a freaking Nokia from like 1994? What's going on?
I've been saying that forever. I'm like, come on, guys. We got 4K cameras now. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's got an iPhone, man. If anybody's catching anything now, it better be in 4K. It better be 60 frames per second. It better be in 4K. That's what I'm saying. Because, son, I'm telling you, if you ain't catching nothing, maybe that's why nobody's caught anything yet. But yeah, all back in the day, I was like, man, why is it when someone catches something, they record it on a potato, and then like they're shaking it. They're recording it like this, like, oh my god,
the world's shakiest camera. Like, dude, just stay still. Record the goddamn thing.
If I saw Bigfoot, I would literally just be framing him up perfectly, not even moving. I would just still. I'm telling you, because I want people to believe me. I'm telling you.
I could just imagine that Bigfoot walking along with Chief like sneaking behind him, like, I'm gonna frame you. Right?
Before you kill me, I gotta get this on camera.
Well, that's it. If you're dead, at least you'd be famous for like when you're like, you'd be famous though. Yeah. Amazing. The guy who caught footage of Bigfoot and also got mauled to death.
Yeah, that's a true artist. You know, they say artists get famous or make money after they're dead. They only make money and get famous after they're dead.
I know, right? Like, for some artists, that must suck. But like, I bet they're up in heaven going like, "Well, it's the same song when I was alive. God damn it!" What?
I wanted to listen to my painting when I was down there. Why now?
I know. Like, come on, man. I could have been rich. Yeah. So, whereabouts is like Bigfoot, like kind of like situated then? Like, where are these rumors of where this guy is? So
all over America. In Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma, so like they're in Oklahoma, they're all over the place. But they only find footprints, hair, and when they get the hair tested, it's always like the people are like, I don't know, it doesn't show up as anything. They don't know what the hair is. But I have a theory about Bigfoot. All the way before I get into my theory. So like when you hear Bigfoot, what do you think about Bigfoot? Because it's so weird. I've never met anybody who's really like not familiar with Bigfoot, and then like you guys don't even have
Ah,
Bigfoot
I,
across the pond. I'm kind of blown away.
when I think of Bigfoot, I always think of like, was it? It's an old film. Oh god, Henry and
Harry,
the.
Harry and the Henderson.
Harry.
That's it. That's it.
When I think of Bigfoot, I think of that movie.
Yep. That's Bigfoot.
That's the first thing that comes. That's my point of reference for Bigfoot.
Man.
So like literally, that's the first thing that comes. Like I said before, like we don't have like awesome things like Bigfoot. Like we just have the Loch Ness monster.
We're going to talk about that sometime.
Definitely. So yeah, so that's kind of weird. There's like find all this hair and like nobody's like, well, what the hell is this? Because you'd think that like obviously like 2020 or even like 5-10 years ago, you find in this hair, they stick it in a machine and they're like, that's a fox's hair or that's synthetic hair or this hair's from some man's ass crack. Like they know shit. So for them to turn around and go, we baffled. That's really crazy. So what's your theory on Bigfoot then?
So I have a theory, and I believe it is correct. I think what Sasquatch really is a werewolf.
A werewolf.
That's why they can't find body parts. That's why they only find footprints. That's why they only find hairs. And then when they find them, they're like, what is this? They're like, it's almost human. But I think that's what it is. I think people are seeing werewolves, lichens, walking around. You know, regular people turning into werewolves, and then they're seeing that, and those people are out there just in the wilderness doing werewolf stuff.
Werewolf stuff, man. That's such a terrifying thought. Like you could just be like walking in some wood, and these people just transform into Bigfoots. So,
yes, werewolves.
Well,
I'm telling you, that's what it is.
Massive freaking. It's so creepy. They're like I don't know if you know. I was told about this before that apparently there's like some kind of like tourist spot for Bigfoot apparently. So somewhere in America, where's like the collection of all this evidence and stuff like that people have like created. There's like I can't remember what it's called.
Museum?
Yeah, it's like a museum. It's like a I've seen it somewhere on a documentary, and I was just like, wow, that's awesome. It's just like all comes together for this massive conspiracy theory is thing. But the werewolves theory, man, is actually you've got me thinking about that now. Like,
dude, every time I tell people, they're like, "That you're crazy." That's no, and I'm like, I'm telling you, it would explain so much because they ain't found no bodies. Every time they see it, it looks like a human because it's a werewolf.
Yeah, damn. I'm gonna chalk this one off here. Then that's it. That's the end of the episode. Bigfoot solved. If you're watching this, guys, I send the Nobel Prize to Neon Chief Sweet.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. That's what we do here. That's what this show's all about. Debunking theories.
Get out of here, Scooby. Get out of here, Scooby and the gang. Okay, I'm here. We're solving mysteries.
Solving mysteries. Hell yeah.
Hand over the mystery machine. It's ours now.
We'll keep Daphne, but the rest of you move on. But that's just such a crazy thought. What else do you have like in America? Like you must have some crazy stuff as well. Like I hear so many like crazy, just like stories and stuff like that from like your side, like in America and stuff like that. There were so many. Like it feels like every town, or at least from like I know from like it could be just like the movie. I've watched too many freaking horror movies, but it's like every town's got like an urban legend or something where over there. You know, it's like I just feel like if I ever went to America and I walked down the street, some guy with a paper bag over the bottle would just turn up to me and go, "Son, have you ever heard the story of Headless Jack?" or something like that. And I'm like, "What? No, don't look into his eyes, boy." You know, and I'm like that. But that sounds so amazing. It's so boring here in UK. It's just like, you know, we have none of this awesome stuff. So apart from like the like I said, the Loch Ness monster, we've milked that baby dry. I mean, come on, we've been doing that for like hundreds of years now.
Yeah, you know, I was never fascinated by the Loch Ness monster that much because I always thought it looked kind of like, you know, it looked like a toy in the water a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody in the UK right now is like, "Oh, this mother effer! How dare he?"
And, they keep finding like weird and wonderful stuff with the Loch Ness monster. Like talking about milking it. This is how much we milk it. It's like we always send people there to go and discover like the Loch Ness monster, right?
Yeah.
And after every expedition, all these years of people looking in this place, and they always turn around and go, "We didn't find anything. There's no evidence." No evidence. But they always come up with some crazy theme that always attaches to that. Like, we didn't find any evidence, but we did find a shit ton of new caverns underneath the lake.
Caves.
So, yeah, caves upon caves down in the lake. And I'm like, well, how big's this fucking pond then? And then it comes out the next day. Loch Ness might be thousands of meter deep with all these weird and complicated tunnels. And I'm like, well, that's a great way to stretch this out even further, innit? I could just see everybody in Scotland going, "Oh fuck, they know it's not real. Tourism, how do we deal with this?" Well, let's just say there's 800 million caverns underneath the pond that will take years to explore.
Smart though.
Smart, but you don't know. You don't know what's real, what's myth, what's rumor or gossip. Like,
yeah,
it's like it seems to be like a mix of all three. The thing that I always believe is like with any kind of like conspiracy or any kind of rumor, it starts with a truth. That truth may get warped, maybe twisted, and maybe obviously some lies do get sprinkled in there, I think, and the story changes. But the core thing of like any kind of conspiracy is that that's where it starts. I mean, for example, look at vampires, man. Yeah. Look at like Vlad the Impaler and stuff like that. I mean, that's where that shit came from. Like, because of what he did, and the legend grew and grew and grew. And now we have like awesome things to do with vampires and stuff like that. Lost Boys, freaking Vampire the Masquerade. Fuck Twilight. Okay, not everything was brilliant, but still, that's where these myths come from and stuff. Like, America has like so many. What I love watching? Supernatural.
Oh yes,
love watching Supernatural. And I like that's like my go-to world into like American folklore. And I'm like things like Skinwalkers and stuff like that. And I'm like, is that actually a thing? And then a quick Google, and you're talking about like tribes and stuff like that used to talk about Skinwalkers and taking people's face, and you're just like, what? And this shit's not something that's like someone's just said to make a TV show or something. This stems back thousands of years of tribes talking to each other and people whispering to each other, like colonies coming over from England, hearing these stories and seeing things, and it just spreads and spreads and spreads. So there's always like a little tidbit of truth into these things. But somebody needs a goddamn 4K camera already and take a goddamn picture of Bigfoot.
I know, dude, I'm telling you. I've had an experience. Well, a Skinwalker. There's like there's kind of like one of those like in every culture, like a weird demon type thing out there doing weird stuff. Since I am Native American, we do have like a Skinwalker. We call it a Stigini, which it means owl in my language.
Owl? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's basically the same thing. Like when if you're around other natives, like my tribe, you say Stigini, they're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, what now? What are you talking about? But it does the same thing. But like it can like when I was growing up, it was like if it comes to you, it can like sing to you while you're sleeping and get you to open the door and let itself in.
What?
Like make you sleep.
What?
And it could like mimic your voices, so it could be like, "Hey, can you open the door? It's me." And like it would be like it'd mimic your mom's like voice and stuff.
Oh no, nah, screw that, no.
Yeah. And it can like mimic any type of voice out there, and it can mimic like dogs and all this stuff, and it could like shapeshift and all this into things. But it always starts off as an owl. It'll be like whoo by your window and stuff, like whoo, and then all of a sudden, it'll start like, "Hey, what are you doing in there?" And you're like, "What the fuck?"
Who Let me in, boy.
Yeah, open the door.
Open the goddamn door. What? So, yeah. Oh man, that's. I didn't know that. I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah.
That's so.
I
creepy and
heard
stuff
one
like that.
before. I heard one before, and it was. I
No
don't know. I
way.
mean, yeah, it was. It's when I heard, like, I think it was that. Otherwise, it could have been just a demon. But I have a piece of land, native land. You know.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay taxes on it. Huzzah! I'm native, but so I have some native land.
You have your
And,
own. You have your own land.
Yeah, native land. That was.
I was about to say. Jesus Christ! All right, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's only like 40 acres, but
only.
But when they sent us on the Trail of Tears, and we was, because originally my people was in Florida, and they was like, okay,
Yeah.
you're going over there, and we was like, all right, okay, we'll go over here, and they was like, you can have all that land over there. So like a bunch of us natives have like land that's still like ours from when we came over here.
Yeah.
So it's like native land, and it's like the federal government doesn't tax us because it's like from back in the day. So they call it restricted land. So it's like our land. And like the regular cops, if you're not, we have our own cops called light horsemen, and if you like, only light horsemen can come on that land. So like if a non-native cop gets a call, he'll like call a light horseman. So the light horseman goes, and he might show up too, but he has to ask. He has to show up and be like, "Can I come onto your land?" And I'll be like, "Yes, you may." It happened one time. I got broken into, and he showed up, and he was just at the driveway, and he's like, "Can I come on?" And I was like, "Yes." He's like, "All right, cool." Drove into my house.
Damn, what? Honest to God, man, I honestly didn't know that. Like, literally, I don't think of it like that. Like when I think of America now, I think of like Washington D.C. and these big cities and stuff like that. So obviously, America's like a massive place. Like, there's not cities and stuff like. A lot of it's still quite rural. Open and stuff. So I never, that boggles my mind. That really does. Like you said, I'm in England and we have big cities, mostly crap cities, and farms, like a shit ton of farms. That's as exciting as it gets here. So to know that you obviously from a tribe, which I didn't know by the way until just now.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Like. To know that obviously you have your own land and without the taxes and stuff like that, that's crazy. What's more crazy to me is that still affect after what, hundreds of years now.
Yeah. I can't. It's I know my great grandfather. I have a picture of him, but that's the one who came on the Trail of Tears, and like from that's only as far as back as I know my lineage is from him, because it got separated from like once he came, it's like pretty much that's where we started. I feel like, but they gave the land to him, then he passed it down to his kids. So like I have 40 acres, but it's divided by like 20 people because he had kids, and then those kids, because originally I think he got like almost 200 acres, right? He got 200 acres, and then he had like 2 kids split between them. Those 2 kids had 2 kids, and it split between them. And then my grandpa got it, and he got 40. My grandpa had 7 kids, and then my mom, my mom is give it to me. I'm her only kid, so
so basically your great grandkids will basically have a sand pit.
They can stand, and they'll stand on a spot, and they'll be like, "This is my land.
This is my land." I'd love that. I'd just stand in there and it'd be like when my mom tells me to come home for dinner or something like that. If I was a kid, I would have just stood on that one spot and go, "You can't tell me what to do. This is my land."
Yeah, I live here.
This is Neon Country. This is my land. I would abuse the hell out of that. I'll be honest. But going back to like all these like crazy stuff and stuff like that, just for point of reference as well, like Paris. Yeah, Paris is like catacombs. Exactly what I was about to say. Is like you always hear these like freaky stories and stuff like that, and then
that is freaky.
And then it's like a city literally built on bones. Literally built on bones. And what the weird thing I always find freaky to this day is like they turn around and go, "Oh yeah, we've got this amazing underground narrow passageway of skulls and bones dating back to whenever." Nothing freaky about that, but just make sure you don't go down there, please. Dude, like the like they're so strict on like not letting anybody down there, and I'm sat here thinking, why?
What's down there?
What's down there?
Yep.
Like every time you ever see like a crew or like some TV show or something go down there, there's always like you can always see them in the TV crew. There's like the camera going down, there's like that. You know, the TV crew's like, oh, this is amazing. There's always this one guy that's like just stood in front of a corridor, like, nope, not this way.
Yeah,
that way. Don't
where
go.
the demons are.
Don't go down there. And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, they stretch for miles as well. Like it does like make you think, well, how the hell did that even come to be?
Yeah, who was just like, what we should build this out of? And someone was like, bones. And then they were like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And Paris just decides, let's just build a fucking city on these big boats. I know it doesn't work like that, but that's like,
we got a bunch of dead bodies. Let's just start building. How do you take the bones out of the people and just start?
Start making walls and skulls and stuff like that.
Oh my god, these that
makes me wonder what it is, because that's not a one person job. That's like that took time and effort of like thousands of people to create something like that. Well, it always makes me freaky. What always thinks like there could be like some random person in Paris now that just sat at a cafe, sipping on their nice coffee, eating a croissant. And croissant, and sat above 15 burial chambers of 50 billion freaking.
There's a good joke. There's a good joke right there. Like, I don't know if you watch a lot of like Hollywood, but in Hollywood always likes to play as a native. I see this and I'm like, oh my god! But it cracks me up. They're always like, it's built on a Native American burial ground.
Oh, like Pet Cemetery, like that.
Yeah. You're like, as a native, I'm like, man, what?
Well, it's worked out all right for Paris, hasn't it? I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if anything happens in the French. Like, well, this is built on an old French burial ground.
That's true. That is, it baffles me how like that is just one of those wonderful, weird world wonders. But I do find it amazingly freaky that they're just like, nope, you can't go down there. No one's allowed down there. I should be like, wow.
We should sneak in because you ever seen that? Is it As Above, So Below? Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes. Yeah. I was about to say that's what it'd be like. It'd be like Descent when it would be like we'll be going down, we'll get lost, and then we'll be picked off one by one.
Dude, so, I would love it. That'd be the way to go out.
So I know, and then but the problem is we'd still need to get the tape out. You know, if we die underground, like who's going to see the footage?
Hopefully someone will find it.
One day.
Go run across it. Like, what is this? And then they're like, that's what's down here. Interesting.
I know. It'd be like, god damn it, man. So, but yeah, no, that always freaks me out. It's the same with London as well. London is like not as massive as or freaky to be built on bones. But London's, we've got like about 15 different sewer systems in London, and it's amazing. They do tours and stuff. I've always wanted to go, but they do like tours of like these big Victorian sewer complexes and shit like that. That's just underneath the cities, and it's so complex, so massive, and tunnels and twisting and stuff like that. You just look at it and you think, wow. I mean, most of it doesn't get used anymore, but it's just like there's like you got this set of tunnels, and then there's another set of tunnels, and it just gets.
The mole people live in those tunnels.
The mole people. Don't be giving away my secrets, Chief.
Yeah, they're just going around in there.
That's where I come from. But yeah, it's like myth. I was saying this actually. There was one I was saying on my Twitch the other day, which one that always kind of freaks me out. The one kind of like American myth that I always find really, really freaky, and I love it so much, but at the same time, absolutely petrifies me. Is I can't remember what the story. I always forget the name of it. The name is so hard to say. But it's the story of when obviously the British started going over to America and we started setting up colonies and stuff like that.
Is it Ragnarok, or is that it?
Yeah, I think it's something like Croatoan or something. Roanoke.
Roanoke.
I think that's it. Roanoke. Yeah. And obviously when we used to come over to colonize, obviously it used to take like months to get back to England. On these big ships, and then back to America. But we apparently settled down. Somebody made a colony. It was this huge town. They turned around and said, yeah, we're going back to England to get supplies to increase this colony to double the size, and we came back and then everybody just disappeared. But what the freaky thing was, it wasn't like people had just got up and left. It wasn't like people had packed or it was just gone. There was like toys in the street, like people's meals on tables, stuff like that. Obviously things were going on. People's washing on their lines or whatever they used back in those days. Like there was, it wasn't like people have just thought, oh well, fuck, it's not working here. Let's go somewhere. Let's go. Like it wasn't a collective town. It was like someone had just come and taken all the people, and that was it.
Yeah, dude, I know. I've never really looked into that, but I've always been fascinated with that too. Yeah, that was crazy.
The one thing they found was the row cone. Somebody please, if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments what the name of it is. But
it might even be Roanoke, but
yeah, it'll be something. But it was carved into like a pole or something like that, and just in big writing. And that was the one thing that was left of this colony. And they searched. Apparently, they searched for this colony because you'd think if they moved into another place or another direction, or they went somewhere, there'd be some sort of evidence of them settling down. They'd have to settle somewhere.
Yeah,
and there was nothing. There was just no evidence of anything. It was crazy because, like I said, if it was like I don't know, like a pack of wolves or something, or a bear attack or something, there would be damage. There would be bodies. There'd be wreckage of something happening, but there was nothing. It was just
gone.
That's what scares me, man.
That's
what scares me.
Twilight Zone.
It's just like, wow. It's just like, damn. Sorry. This is why I stay in England. This is why I don't go over there. I'm scared of going to Disneyland, and then one day I'm just like,
the mouth gotcha.
So we know there's people that disappear on Mickey Mouse Mountain.
They're workers now.
We're anti Disney. So that's it. I'll be in like one of the Disney rides. It's a cool world. Animatronic like that in like one of the parks.
One of the robots.
Yeah, no. There's a theory about that as well. Like Disney, that Walt Disney's body or brain has been cryologically frozen in Disneyland. The fact that Disney have had to come out like multiple times and deny this theory, they've come out and said, "There's no Walt Disney is not very cryologically frozen in Disneyland," and then the press is like, "Well, show us the inside of Disney then," and they're like, whoa. You can't do that. Why? What, you're hiding, Disney? just like, they'll never come out and just say, oh yeah, just come in and have a look. They just come and deny it. But that's what somebody would say if they had chronically frozen their creator underneath a ground that small kids go to.
Disney comes out and is like, my empire has done well, yes.
I mean, 2020 is not over yet. I'm kind of expecting Mr. Walt Disney to just like rise from the grave.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. He comes out before the presidential election and he says, I want to throw my bid in for the presidency. And everybody's like, whoa! What?
Well, he can't be any worse than Kanye West. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. Conspiracy theory. Walt Disney comes back and he goes for 2024.
2024. It's mad. It's mad. There's so many different things from from America, and it's always so different as well. Like America's so vast. Like you have like New York, where there's obviously theories and of like ghouls and stuff like that, or in the subways or something like that in New York. And then you've got like you said, Skinwalkers and stuff like with tribes and stuff, Utah. And then you've got like like Florida and California, where they've got their kind of weird crap over there. It's like it's at this point I'm just looking at it thinking, well, is there any part of America I can go to where I wouldn't be like screwed over? I'm looking at it, I'm trying to look for like a good place to like move to, and I'm just like, nope.
North, South Dakota, those Kansas, you don't ever hear them from North, South Dakota. Those they're just there. I don't ever hear anything from them.
At this point, I'm just thinking I might as well just move to Tennessee for the whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I hear much from Tennessee. Maybe they have some scary stuff over there. I feel like I don't hear anything from Tennessee, really.
Yeah. That's the thing, guys. We're going to do some more episodes in the future and stuff like that. And me and Chief would love you guys to get involved as well. If you have any kind of like local stories or anything that you want us to look into, that we can talk about, chat about, any crazy things. We're gonna cover ghosts probably in another episode as well. I know Chief loves his ghosts. Crazy conspiracy theories. FBI agents and the Men in Black and all that crap. If it's a conspiracy, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'd love to like know like people because like obviously I'm from England, so I kind of know this stuff. Chief's obviously from the USA, so he probably knows a vast majority of that. But I know that there's so many urban legends in different tiny places: Japan, Poland, Russia. They're everywhere. If you guys have something that you've heard that you want us to talk about, to look at, please let me know. Let us know in the comments. Seriously, let us know in the comments, because we'll read that and we'll be like, all right, we're going to talk about that this week. That we'll pick up a few comments and we'll be like, heck yeah, we'll be like, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Is there? What's your favorite kind of like? Is there anything that freaks you out? I know you said about like obviously Bigfoot as being like your favorite, but is there anything that kind of like freaks you out? Is there any kind of like anything you heard when you grew up when you were like, oh shit, that's scary?
The guineas, kind of like the Skinwalkers. That's
yeah. Oh, to be honest, I was about to say that sounds wow.
Yeah.
I thought they were just like they could change their appearance and that was it. And then as soon as you told me like, oh yeah, they mimic voices and just like get you to invite them in, I'm like, well, fuck no. No, thank you. I'll stay in England with our crap weather and non-poisonous spiders. So perfectly safe here. So that's another thing that freaks me out as well. It's like Australia. It's like I always wanted to go to Australia, but like everything in the sea bites you and everything on land wants to kill you. And I'm just like, why would anybody go there?
Yeah.
Why would you go there? But yeah, that's like there's so much stuff. Just so many things. Like I said, I think we're going to touch on ghosts next week. I definitely want to talk about aliens and conspiracy theories about that one. That's going to be a long episode, I think. I could just babble on about that one for ages. So guys, if you like this videos and stuff like that, please leave us a like, smash. We'll talk on the next episode. I appreciate it. Chief, as always, man, been a pleasure.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye guys, chill out.